Rusty Shackelford here. I'm in Portage, Alaska at the Byron Glacier behind me. We've been in the wilds of Alaska for about the last week or so, so I don't really know a whole lot of what's going on in the world, which is a nice thing. I decided to get away from some of it, but I did catch a little bit of something, a little bit of breaking news on Joe Biden, Joe Biden's son, and all that really has come out and come to light. Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, if Donald Trump Jr., there was film of him somewhere smoking crack with a hooker, and yet this is what we're dealing with Vice President Joe Biden's son. He's running for president, and there's nothing wrong with smoking a little bit of crack if you're a Democrat. Ask the mayor of D.C. about that. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. You don't want to smoke crack if you're a Republican. Does anyone remember the mayor of Toronto a couple of years back? This guy was awesome. That guy smoked crack like every day, and he even made, he wasn't hiding it. He was a big fat jolly guy. I think he died a couple of years ago, but he was fun. He was fun. At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, so Joe Biden's son has been taking money from the Russians, from the Chinese, from pretty much anyone who would give it to him because of what his dad could do for them. And if that right there isn't the definition of corruption in a swamp, then I don't know what is. And it also is very interesting to note that Joe Biden is a multi-millionaire with homes all over the place. Barack Obama's got a nice, pretty sweet setup in Martha's Vineyard. Sorry, it's a little cold here. And where do these people get all this money from? I mean, they're public servants. They're making $75,000, $150,000 a year, maybe $200,000 a year. And don't get me wrong, that's fine. That's nice money, but certainly not enough to buy a house next to Martha Stewart in Martha's Vineyard. And so I think what's happening here is I think that this whole notion of Joe Biden losing it, Joe Biden's mental faculties, it got me to thinking, maybe there's nothing wrong with Joe at all. Because you see what happens if Joe Biden loses this election, they all know what's going to happen. The Justice Department now, if Donald Trump wins this election, is going to be turned right on Barack Obama's administration, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden. They're all going to be toast, and they know it. So, boy, Joe Biden's got a great defense, doesn't he? His mental faculties aren't there. He can't remember. Boy, it's just old Joe, and his mind is slipping. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a nice little, maybe it's an insurance policy. If Joe Biden loses, his insurance policy is, he doesn't remember, his mind isn't there, and the media will go along with it, and everyone will go along with it, because of course that's what we've all been saying now for the last, I don't know, year or two. He's not the same Joe Biden. He's not the same guy he was, just 4 or 6 years ago. Well, maybe he is. Maybe he is, and maybe this is a great opportunity, a great insurance policy, just in case, and when, I should say, there's a landslide. Although I probably shouldn't talk about landslides in this environment. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a short, quick one today. Rusty Shackelford. I'll be back in sunny South Florida next week, and we'll give you a nice full one with a whole lot more interesting stuff. Rusty Shackelford, Radio Free America.